Hello my beautiful yogi friends, welcome back to our 7-day yoga transformation journey. Today is day number 4, allow. So today we will start in a cross-legged seat. So come into it. Feel free to take, as always, block, blanket or anything underneath the sitting bones, just to make it a bit more accessible here. Bring your hands onto your knees and then settle in. Close the eyes or leave the gaze soft slightly in front of you. Take a moment here to rotate the shoulders up, back and down. And inhale to lengthen through the spine. And exhale to soften through the shoulders, fingertips, hips and legs, toes. So today is all about allowing. So allowing yourself to be the person you are, allowing yourself to feel the feelings you feel, allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to fall and make mistakes. So everything is allowed today. Beautiful intention we've got here today. And we want to straight away step into some movement here. So use an inhale, leave the eyes closed or the gaze soft to slightly lean forward. Exhale, we're going to rotate the torso over to the right, leaning back, maybe even flowing a little bit more through the hands, stretching the back. Inhale, moving over to the left, leaning forward. So we're basically steering the pot, drawing circuits with the torso, warming up the spine. And just keep it moving. Exhale, leaning back. Inhale, leaning forward. Big breath, big rotation. Keep it moving here. Softening through the shoulders and the neck. Absolutely grounded through the sitting bones and legs. And then reversing the circle. Next time we're leaning back, going over to the right side. Leaning forward. Exhale over to the left and back. Really hanging on to your hands here. Inhale, leaning forward. Staying super heavy in your hips and your legs. And the last big circle here. Really enjoying this big stretch of the spine, of all the muscles in the torso. Coming back into the center. And blink open the eyes in case the rest still closed. Take a big inhale, palms up towards the ceiling. Awesome, big stretch. Exhale, palms press down. Stretch over to the left. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up and over. Super nice stretch for the rib cage. Exhale, back into the center. Inhale, left fingertips up over to the right. Reaching long. Awesome stretch. Exhale, back into the center. And we come off our block. So take it out to the side or off the cushion or pillow and move into a hip stretch. So we will stack our legs in front of us. So ideally we're going to have one leg right on top of the other. So the chins are square or parallel. We can use our block here once again if there's quite a big gap, depending on where your gap is. Maybe even use 2 blocks or a blanket in between. If that doesn't suit you here at all, feel free to just have the legs in front of each other. That's basically the same effect in case we can't go as deep in our hip stretch. Otherwise, we try to really square the chins towards the front, stacking the legs, pull the toes towards the knee. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, eventually we walk the fingertips forward. And you might not even be here, you might still be upright. Maybe the fingertips are forward or maybe you're super flexible in your hips and you can even walk the fingertips further forward. So really depending, up to you here. Keep breathing. We take 2 big breath cycles here. In and out. Releasing any tension in the hips. Giving yourself a little smile. Allow yourself to feel any kind of feelings here. And then walking the fingertips back up, switching sides. So our leg comes on top. Again, maybe using your block here for a bit of support. Then we lengthen and start to fold forward. So as always with our hips, one side is a bit more open than the other. So that's completely fine if you can go further or not as far on this side here. Just allowing ourselves to be exactly where we're at. Keep breathing into the hips. One big inhale. Exhale to soften. And then we walk the fingertips back up. We move our little tool. Walk the feet forward and take a couple of windshield wiper movements with the knees left to right. Just to give the hips a nice little massage and stretch again. From here we move into a tabletop. So swing your legs around. Find your way into a tabletop position. Making sure we're pressing into the palms. You press away from the mat. You find a bit of engagement in the core. So tuck the tailbone under slightly. Because we're going to start to lift the left knee off the ground. So the weight immediately starts to shift into the right hip. Keep pressing out of the right hip. And also pressing out of both hands. So we're not dumping our weight into the right palm here. We begin to draw some small circuits here with the left knee. So again, working on our hips, finding a subtle movement here. And then over time, maybe we let this circle become bigger. Keep breathing deep. Super engagement in your core here. Gaze is down, neck is long. We have weight in our left palm as well. And then reversing the circle. Really beginning to warm up the hips here, finding more space there. One more big breath here. And bring the knee back down. Bring the weight into the left knee. And like with the other side, engage your core. Press away from the mat. Starting our small circuits on this side. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a big circle. It can be quite small to start with. And maybe over time we develop a bit more openness here in our hip. If you already can, maybe draw the circuits bigger. Then reversing the circle here. Make sure you're not jumping completely into the left hip. Press out of the left hip. Weight is also in your right palm here. Keep breathing. Awesome for our glutes, for our buttocks. Last circle. Coming back, lowering down the right knee, and we walk into a high kneeling position. So this is where we might need our block again. Put the block on the left side next to you. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side. So the toes are pointing forward. And we make sure the left knee is right underneath the left hip and in line with the right heel. Move into a big side stretch here. Inhale, lift the left fingertips up. Exhale over to the right. Right hand can fall wherever it wants to fall. Into our gate pose, Parigasana. Opening through the chest. Often we tend to move the shoulders forward and our side stretches really open. Keep breathing. Relax the shoulders slightly away from the ear. Find a good position for your gaze. Might be down, straight ahead, or up towards the ceiling. Taking one more big breath into the left side of the chest. And coming back into the center. Exhale over to the other side. This is where we might use our block here under the left hand, the left palm. Swooping the right arm through counter pose here. Reach the right fingertips long. Eventually we're gonna lift the right toes off as well to give the back of the leg, the back of the calf a bigger stretch. Keep breathing, engage the core slightly, opening the chest towards the ceiling. And then the gaze comes towards the left hand, engage the core, come back up, release the fingertips down, bring the right knee in, switch our block, left leg comes out to the side. Again, same alignment here, left heel in line with the right knee right underneath the right hip. Inhale, right fingertips up, exhale over, big stretch. Find length through the crown of the head, but relax the shoulder down. Eventually find this internal rotation of the right pinky finger inward. So we're rotating the shoulder in basically as well, and not just opening up our armpit towards the ceiling. And then gaze down, straight ahead or up. One big breath here into the right side of the chest. And exhale, engage the core, coming via the center, finding our block with the right palm, swooping the left fingertips through. Same on this side, find this internal rotation with the left pinky finger. Reaching through the fingertips, eventually lifting the left toes. Finding this even bigger stretch here. So the whole left side of the body is stretched. Make sure your neck is long and the head isn't hanging down or standing up awkwardly. Remembering the neck is an extension of the spine. Last breath. And exhale, we engage the core. Release the fingertips down. Wiggle the left leg in. Come back into tabletop. Put our little block out to the side. From here, walking the hands slightly further forward. Rotate the elbow creases forward. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips slowly into downward facing dog. Big bend in your knees. Lift one heel at a time. Shake the head yes or no. Feel into the shoulders. Feel this big connection of the palms to the ground. Spread your fingertips. Spread the toes as well. And then lift through the hips. Lengthen through the spine. Ears are in line with the upper arm bones. From here, bring the gaze forward. Walk, step or jump into forward fold. Uttanasana. Relax the head down. Maybe walking the fingertips from left to right. Giving the lower back a nice stretch. Coming back into the center. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on chins, kneecaps or thighs. Your version. Exhale, we surrender back down just to press into the feet. Peel up. One vertebrae at a time. Into mountain pose Tadasana. Bring your fingertips up by your side. Big stretch here. Exhale through the midline, along the third eye, the heart. Holding back down, allowing us to surrender. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms and we walk, step or jump back into a plank pose. Engage your core, press into the heels, press away from the mat. Full body engagement. One more inhale, and exhale, lower onto the knees, onto the belly, elbows close to the body. Untuck the toes, inhale, into Cobra. Exhale, lowering back down, downward facing dog. Take your time to get there, 2 big breaths here. And even though we're flowing, make sure you're still being aware of the alignment in our downward facing dog and all the other postures. Inhale into the chest and exhale. Gaze moves back forward. We find our way to the front of the mat. Lengthen through the spine first before we surrender. Starting to be up. Take your time. Big inhale. Fingertips by your side. One more big stretch above the head. Exhale. Fingertips down. From here, bringing the weight into the left foot. And we're gonna start with our eagle posture. So hands can be on your hips. And option 1 is having your right toe still on the ground. Little bend in your left knee. If you feel a bit like we need an extra support today, you're allowed to. Or maybe we're gonna bring the right leg further up, wrapping it around the left leg. If possible in your body, you can even wrap the right foot around the left calf here. We're gonna square the hips to the front and be really nice and bendy in the left knee. Super strong in your left foot. From here, lifting the right arm in front of the face. Make sure you focus on a drishti point, a non-moving focus point right in front of you. Lengthen through the left arm and we wrap our arms into our eagle arms, either in the open version or in the little knot. Relax the shoulders down, lift elbows and hands. Press into the left feet, tuck the tailbone under. So engage the core, super strong here. Keep breathing in between the shoulder blades, pressing into the left foot, squaring of the hips, engaging the core, long through the back of the neck. Reach those fingertips up. One more inhale here, maybe lengthen a bit more. Exhale to sink deeper. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sink deeper. And then slowly we unravel. Give everything a big shake. Bring the weight into the right foot. So option 1 again. Maybe left toes on the ground. Option 2, lifting the left leg up. Bend in your right knee. Square the hips to the front. Option 3, maybe wrapping the toes around the right calf. Finding length through the spine, tuck the tailbone under, sink deep in your right knee. Eventually we're gonna lift the left arm in front. Right arm reaches long, crosses over on top. We can leave hands open or move into our knot. A bit tricky here because we're moving our drishti, our focus point, but you can do it. Press into the right foot, lengthen through the spine and the neck, relaxing the shoulders down, lifting through elbows and fingertips. This time breathing into the chest, breathing into the heart. Feeling the length through the spine, feel the growing on the inhalation, sink deeper on the exhale. Inhale to grow, exhale to sink. Last breath here, you can do it super strong right leg, and then with control we slowly unravel everything. Give everything a big shake, some rotations for the shoulders, maybe some small circles here for your ankle, maybe even for your wrists. Why not? Can't hurt, we're allowed to. And then we step back to the front of the mat, just to take a big step back with the left leg. We're almost setting up here for our warrior 2. So front foot in line with the inner arch of the back foot. But this time the front leg stays straight. And we just have a little bit of a, we call micro bend. So it's a tiny bend that you can't really see. So it looks like the leg is straight, but we're not pressing into the back of the knee, so we don't put a lot of pressure into the knee. We've got a nice engagement protecting the knee joint. Inhale, we're going to bring the fingertips up. Exhale, relax the shoulders, and then inhale, carve a line with the right hand up and over. Almost like our peaceful warrior, but basically peaceful triangle posture. Keep breathing, pressing into both feet evenly, and exhale, back into center. Inhale, reaching the right fingertips forward, bumping the hips over to the left, and then pivot around, right fingertips down in front of the right leg. Left fingertips come up, coming into our triangle posture. So sometimes it can be a bit strong for the left shoulder, then you can bring the head onto the hip. Otherwise, really reach tall here with the left fingertips towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Trying to rotate the chest up towards the ceiling as well. We're leaning slightly back with the torso. So often we feel like, oh, we're gonna fall back, but usually it's just a tiny little movement that opens us even further up. Keep pressing into the outside edge of the left foot. Keep opening through the chest, long through the neck. One more breath here. Maybe for this last one you dare to look up to the left fingertips, balancing challenge. And then the gaze comes down to the right foot. We find our way back up, bending through the right knee. Relaxing the arms down for a second, turning the right toes in, left toes out. And same on this side, finding our micro bend in the left knee. So engage all the muscles around the knee joint. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, relax the shoulders. And then we're reaching through the left fingertips. Our peaceful triangle posture here first. Super long through the left side of the chest. And exhale, back into the center. Inhale to reach long through both sides of the torso. Before we pivot the left fingertips down towards the leg, right fingertips up above the head. Or as before, bringing the right hand onto the hip. Maintain the micro bend in your left knee and press the hips over to the right side, opening further through the chest. Eventually slightly leaning back. Relax the shoulders, stretch through the fingertips, press into the feet. And then for our last breath here, eventually looking up towards the right fingertips. Gaze comes down towards the front big toe, and we come back up, relaxing the arms down, heel toe, the feet together once again. Big shake for everything. And then we will flow back down to the ground, so you can come back to the front of the mat, reach the fingertips up on an inhale, exhale, folding back forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, downward facing dog. Allow yourself here to be wherever you are. And lifting the heels, lowering down onto the knees, and we swivel the legs out to the side and towards the front. Finding our way into a seat, moving into Paschimottanasana, our forward fold. So reminder here, hinging forward from the hips, always with our forward folds. Find engagement in your toes, toes pointing towards the ceiling. And then inhale, reaching long, eventually finding the subtle bend in your knees. And exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips. Once we found our edge here, we're free to release the forehead forward towards the knees. So we get this big stretch in the back of the neck as well. And of course, it might be that you're super flexible in your hamstrings. Feel free to grab hold of your feet then, Maybe even using the thumb to slightly press into the root of the big toe. Rotating the outside edges of the feet further towards you to find this internal rotation of the legs, of the thighs. Otherwise you might be here, that's completely fine. Like I said, today is all about allowing yourself to be the person that you are. You're already perfect here. We take one more big breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale, slowly find our way back up, bringing the feet towards the groin for Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet are together, knees are wide. This is one of the postures where we can use our block again here underneath the knees in case it feels a bit dodgy. Otherwise, we lengthen through the spine. Eventually use the elbows to slightly press into the thighs. Lengthen through the spine, and eventually we're tilting forward once again. Using your thumbs to give the soles of the feet a nice massage. Allow yourself to spoil yourself. You can even massage the ankles, the heels, or the ball of the foot. Eventually even the toes. That's a nice little one. And then slightly press into the elbows, going a tiny bit deeper into the stretch here. Still hinging forward from the hips. So again, we're not rounding forward, we're still nice and long through the spine, broad through the chest. Coming back up, hands bring the knees back together. We find our way down onto the ground. So bring the knees into the chest for a last little hug. Maybe you want to rock a little bit left to right, or if Baddha Konasana was quite intense for your hips, you can draw some circles into opposite directions with the knees in case you feel like it. Then bring the knees together, arms out by your side. Last little twist, let the knees come over to the left. And if you need a bit more today, you can even come into twisted root variation, where we would cross the right leg around, basically like we did in our eagle posture, if you want this extra bit here for your right hip. But just having the knees together is fine, of course, as well. Taking two big, nice breath cycles here. Might even already close your eyes. And next, exhale, engage your core. We're going to bring the knees over to the other side. Once again, you can have the knees together, or this time crossing the left leg over the right, going deeper into stretch for the left hip. And then just enjoy this time here that you've got left on your mat. All the hard work is done. Now it's time to relax, to soften. Next exhale brings the knees back up into the center, and we stretch everything long. Arms by your side, wiggle the shoulders together. Might want to pop a blanket underneath the head if that feels nice, or if you feel cold, even cover yourself up with a blanket. So it's completely fine to stay here in Shavasana for another 5 to 15 minutes, or however long you've got time. However long you might want to stay here. But really make sure you take at least 1 or 2 minutes here to ensure we implement all the benefits we just created in our practice into the body. And also to honor today's intention of allowing yourself to have this rest. I'm going to leave you here now and just bring the hands towards my heart. I'm so happy that you joined me today on day 4 of our yoga journey, Allow. And I hope I see you tomorrow for day 5. And I also hope you've got the most beautiful day ahead, whatever is left of it. Thank you so much, and namaste.